The fruit was picked in the cool morning hours. We unloaded the trucks, weighed the fruit, separated all the bins, and then started dumping, which goes up an incline and into our destemmer, which then drops down across a shaker table and into our optical sorter. And that's where we can sort by color, shape, and size. So then it's a gravity flow facility here. And so we're gonna pick those transfer bins up with a forklift, drive them into the fermenters and lift it up in the air, dump and let gravity do its thing. And then it slides gently into the fermenter. From there, I'm adjusting temperatures and making sure that we're gonna cold soak for a few days, and we let the sugars kind of figure themselves out. From there, we will decide whether we want to add a yeast, a commercial yeast strain. And that's all by feel, experience with certain sites. And you want to have a healthy fermentation, but the less hands-on we can be, the more we let Mother Nature do her thing, the better. Always gentle on the fruit and on the wines. And then from there, we're running analysis in the lab. We do analysis on day 1. We do an analysis on day 2 after a couple of mixes. So we're mixing the tanks. And then we get our numbers and we base any of our additions on those results. From there, my assistant winemaker will run the numbers in the lab. We'll taste the juices together. So then we're jumping into fermentation time. The fermentation's all about its temperature and extraction and time on skins. And so we have all automated pump overs on all of our tanks here. And then it's about, at the end, the wine's pretty much dry. It's finished its fermentation. The yeast has converted all the sugar to alcohol. And then I'll decide on taste and decide when we want to press. When do we want to drain this tank off of its skins? So temperature, time on skins, and then that whole fermentation, the kinetics of fermentation basically. And then it's about feel, texture, mouthfeel, tannin, the tannin profile. And then once you press it, it gets pressed into our gravity flow lift tank. And then instead of pumped to barrel, it gets lifted up in the air and then gravity fed to barrel. And then once it's in barrel, that's where we kind of back off a little bit. We're monitoring it. We're constantly, every week, we're running analysis on it. That's sort of harvest in a nutshell. So you do that times about 150 lots a year, and you've done a good harvest, a successful harvest.